Nathan Marchese. I served in Armenia from 2003 to 2005. The school director has told me, Nathan, it's okay. No need to worry. We've got just the place for you, because right across the street from the school, just down the road there's an old abandoned Soviet-era hospital. And I'll tell you what, no one's been there. It's only been ransacked every couple of years or so, but I think you'll be very comfortable there. We'll even send some of the ladies to the school to clean it up. So after the first few days of waiting for those ladies to clean up, where my counterpart and I were literally walking around the street begging people that we met, random people, to put us up for the night. Finally, the rooms got swept out, and we were made do with the kind of moldering mattresses that had been, sitting on the ground for no doubt years, and wrapped up in sheets. But in my mind, I thought, well, hey, this is what I signed up for. Now here's some adventure. Live in this abandoned hospital. You got holes in the walls. Literally, the warped kind of doors had inch wide spaces where birds and wild animals were getting in constantly. I thought, this is just great. So I was actually quite proud of myself now. And I went to the nearby city on the bus that week to get some supplies, and stopped in the internet cafe and wrote a letter to all my friends from college and basically everyone on my email list, which included my parents, to tell them about my excellent adventurous scenario, living in this abandoned hospital and having to walk around on the streets, and asked for a place to live. Well, I don't think I had considered my audience quite carefully enough, because a couple days later, Peace Corps showed up at my school in a van. There was like a whole entourage of like 3 Peace Corps SUVs there with our program director and the country director, and they're like, Nathan, oh, thank God we found you. And I was like, oh, well, what's going on? They're like, man, the State Department called, and apparently they said that you've been living on the streets with no food and water. Well, apparently my mom, after receiving that email, had gotten quite upset at my situation, and had contacted the American Embassy in Armenia, the Armenian Embassy in America, and the State Department all by herself in like 48 hours, which I'm pretty impressed about, actually, although it was quite embarrassing. And so the moral of the story that I learned there was, definitely sugarcoat what you send back to home as far as stories about your experiences and stuff. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked out of your awesome abandoned hospital.
My name is Linnea Olson, and I was in the first group in Armenia. In 92 and 93, I served only 1 year because it was the hardship post of the Peace Corps at that time, because Armenia was at war with Azerbaijan and had no gas or electricity, and I felt like I was taking it away from people. I lived up in the smaller Caucasus Mountains in Dilajan, a village that had been the vacation spot for the former Soviet Union people, the composers, the artists, and so on. My host family in Armenia, the daughter came over to the United States as AFS exchange student a couple years later, and I was able to meet with her and go to her graduation. And then when my own young daughter at 30-some was dying of brain tumor, my host family mother came over, because she was an oncologist and she thought maybe she could see if there was anything in their medical ability that would do anything for our young daughter. That's it.
Very touching. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Erica Roulette. I'm a returned Peace Corps volunteer from Armenia. I volunteered from 2007 to 2009, and I was an environmental education volunteer. Also, of course, all volunteers typically teach English, so my side project was teaching English. I had a wonderful, wonderful counterpart there, and she helped me integrate into the community, and we're still actually friends. We still communicate through email and texting, and I got back almost 3 years ago, August of '09. So, but I just remember the hospitality there, where you walk in the village. It was a village that I lived in, and anyone sees you and they invite you in to eat, to drink, and you could say, "Oh, I've already eaten," and you really may have, but they don't care. They say, "I'll come eat some more," and it's just that kind of bonding, the kind of friendship that really touched me. And my parents came to visit towards the end, and they found out, "Oh, you're Erica's parents. You got to come in. You got to come in." And
Hi, I'm Barbara Colson, and I was in Armenia from June 1st of 2008 to July 31st of 2010. I was a TEFL. I taught English and in 2 schools, and then I taught adults at a women's resource center. I did not learn the language very well because everybody wanted to speak English. I think one of my greatest things was another volunteer and I in Kapan. I lived in Kapan, which is a city in the south. Her and I started a Girl Scout troop. So we had like 40 girls, and it was really, really good and really rewarding. We had a sponsor from the United States, so the girls didn't have to pay anything. So it was mainly to help empower them and know that they had more choices in life than graduate from high school and get married and become the slave to their mother-in-law. So that was really nice.
I'm Wayne Burrett, and I was in Armenia, in Vardenis, in a town called Vardenis, in 2008 to 2010. I think one of the things that I remember most, and I tell people here when I come there, is the difference in culture. For instance, I walk down the street to a meat market, and I know it's a meat market because there's a head of a cow sticking outside the window on the cattle. So that was just something we would not see here in America.